Welcome to Cryptid Crossroads 505. I'm Larry.
And I'm Vince,
Welcome to the show.
where we talk all things cryptid,
Sasquatch,
aliens,
hauntings.
and anything paranormal you would like to share with us.
You can reach us at cryptidcrossroads505@gmail.com.
So settle in, open your mind, and enjoy the show.
Hey, welcome to Cryptid Crossroads 505. We're here doing it once again, and I'm here with my co-host Vince. Vince, give him a shout out.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Cryptid Crossroads 505 Studios, aka Cryptid Central.
That's right. So tonight, before we get started, we want you to share your story with us, and you can do that by reaching out to us at cryptidcrossroads505@gmail.com.
That's right. Reach out and touch someone.
No, anyone. Just be careful.
No, I was quoting an old telephone commercial. Let's not get crazy.
That's right. Yeah, I don't think many people remember that telephone commercial.
Did I just date us?
You
How old
just
we are?
dated us, man. Good God.
Holy smokes.
Anyway, we recently went back up to the Jemez Mountains, and we had a pretty eventful night, and we're going to tell you about it. But before we do that, we're going to give you a toast with the Coors Light. And it's my fault. We usually do a shout out with he's doing Shiner, I'm doing Coors, so to you all. And it's my fault. When we did the shot, I didn't have the recording going, so
Here's to you.
to you. Yes, sir.
But just know we did do a shot to you.
We did. Show them the
just
empty
had-
bottles.
We just had technical difficulties.
That's right. Me.
Now we did venture back up into the Jemez yesterday. We went late afternoon, evening. It's usually time we like to go. We like to scout around. We're looking for new areas. It's hard to find places that are actually open for us to access, because the ones that are open are packed full of people.
They are. We ran through. It's one of the more popular campgrounds, and as we were rolling through it, I could not believe the amount of people that were. They were packed in there like sardines. I mean,
Right.
you could reach over and touch your neighbor.
Well, it depends on who your neighbor is, but
That's right.
that's not what we want. We
No.
like to be a little secluded.
Right.
Now, we were over there looking for a more friendly camping spot, because our usual spot, man, the road is just horrible. There's no way we could get our trailer back there anymore.
Right, and if you've been listening, you heard us talking about this on previous episodes, that we got a lot of rain the last time we were up there, and it just washed that road out. It made it it's inaccessible to get a trailer back there. I mean, we still get back there with our 4-wheel drive trucks, but
Right now, it's a lot of rain is an understatement. Rained on us again last night.
that's right.
Now, we've been, I found this area that I thought would be a pretty good area. It's semi-secluded from everyone else. It's on the opposite side of the road, actually, that most people camp.
Right.
I found it one time, and we could never find it again. We've been going back there looking for that spot, actually. So last night, same thing, couldn't find it, so we drove that whole road. We went out, we went by the lake, and we went back to our regular spot, which we like to call our squatching spot,
Right.
where we've had a lot of activity and we've had the best results.
Yep. So we did. We sat there for a little bit in our watching spot, and as soon as the sun went down, it gets dark. It gets real dark. We didn't have a fire, so we're sitting in the dark. So when
And it
we
was
sit in the
dark.
dark like that, we look up into the sky a lot, because you could see every single star. It's not like looking in the city where you only see a few. You see every star in our galaxy.
Right. Now, whether you're looking for, like us, UFO activity or not, or just looking at the sky, it's a magnificent sight.
It is. But on that, we did see we have to say it's a UAP, UFO, you know.
Right, we have to use the new terminology.
The new terminology. And the reason we're saying that is because I was looking up and I told my brother, check this out, check it out. And we always see UAPs up there. Are they aliens? I don't know, but here's what's interesting. We see tons of jets flying over, and we know the altitude that commercial jets fly. We've even seen military aircraft, so we know the altitude they fly. But these things are so high, they look like they're in space, and there's no beacon flashing.
Right. It just looks like, it almost looks like a star.
Right.
It's sitting there, then it just decides to take off.
And they move, and it's like you catch them in your vision and they'll fade away and then they'll pop back up. It's interesting what we've seen up there, and we saw one of those last night, and that started the night off. And I think it's so cool when I see those because I can't explain it.
Right.
And I know some people would say, "Oh no, that's just an aircraft." Hell no.
No, not
aircraft don't fly that high.
Yeah, you could see how high it is, and aircraft, they have beacons. They have to, unless it's like a black op military exercise. But
Right.
even then, you could tell the difference in altitude.
You can. I mean, now we know that the SR-1s, the spy planes, that they fly over, in space like that, but I don't think they would get that altitude here over the States.
No.
They're going to wait and they're going to climb as they go over Russia or whatnot. But
Right. Yeah, you're referring to the SR-71.
Yeah.
I believe that's retired now.
the
But
Blackbird?
yeah,
Yeah.
they also which has the speed record actually.
Right.
And the U-2 spy plane. Those are pretty interesting because I may or may not have seen them when I was in the military. I signed a document that's saying I didn't, so
Right.
we'll just say I didn't.
And so
But they're pretty cool.
And therefore they're not in service
existence,
today. Yeah,
right.
not in existence or in service. That's right. I just signed a document when I was in the military saying that I wouldn't bring any girls, foreign or domestic, aboard the ship.
And that's why you got a restriction.
That's right.
No, but anyway, back to the
Right.
subject. We see a lot of things out there, and you could tell the difference in altitude.
You can.
And when he saw that last night, he said, look, he pointed it out. I saw it. We saw another one. They're high up. They look like stars. They'll be at a dead standstill, then they'll take off to a different point.
Right.
I don't know. How do you explain that?
I've had one Yahoo tell me that, and yes, he's a Yahoo. He said, "Well, maybe there's satellites." I'm like, satellites don't move like that, man.
Right.
I'm like, what? kind
We all seen satellites.
Yeah, I'm like, I've seen the Elon Musk, the Starlink. I've
Now-
seen those satellites
Right.
cruising along.
Now, when they launched them, they moved, but now they're in orbit.
Orbit, yes. So I did see those when they first, of course it's a train of lights, but how these things act and move, it's not a satellite.
Right. Now, there's a lot of conspiracy theories. We've even saw some documentaries who
Right.
said that a lot of these are ours because of the reverse engineering.
Yeah, I mean, that's what some people are saying.
But, yeah,
I can neither confirm nor deny, but
right. No, we see something up there that's strange. We don't know if it's us, alien. We don't know. All we know is it don't act like an aircraft.
that's right. And we did an episode where it was called Us, Ours, or Theirs, because supposedly we have reversed engineered this technology, and we have a small fleet from what I understand that does fly around in the sky.
Right.
So when we see these things, we got to ask, is it ours or theirs?
And we don't know enough about it to
Right.
say is it ours or theirs, but several presidents have even come forward and said we're not the only ones.
Right. And so that started the night off, and then a little later on we did see a plane, and we heard the plane flying, and it looked like a shooting star that just shot toward that plane. It really did look, and then it disappeared once it got to the plane.
Well, it got incredibly close, and then
Disappeared.
it had
It had the tail.
the tail and everything.
Yes.
It was headed right for the plane, and then it just stopped and disappeared.
I know. At first, I thought, you
thought
know,
it was gonna hit.
I thought so too. I thought, is that a missile going to hit this plane? But
Because when we went out there with our older brother, there was something similar, but we couldn't see what was going on. We just saw it coming back into the atmosphere. But what we saw that night was on fire. It was burning up.
right, that was coming back in. But what we saw last night was there again. It's a UAV. We can't explain it.
It looked like it zoomed into our atmosphere because it had the tail. But then when it got to that aircraft, it stopped.
Yes.
And we lost sight of it.
And as soon as it stopped, we watched the plane and we could hear it. We could hear the plane flying over, but what went toward it had no sound. So that plane just kept flying over, and we watched the plane until it got out of sight, and we're like, what the hell? This is crazy. So although we didn't get no activity from the big guy, Mr. Sasquatch.
Well, not that we know of.
Well, wait, let me...
Allow me to interject.
Right.
No, we were sitting there, and it's pitch black. Pitch black. We had our windows down. We're little chicken. We're sitting in the trucks with our head hanging out the windows and a few view through the windshield, and I heard footsteps outside my window. So my brother saw me panic. I turned on the key and I rolled up the window.
I said, what'd you hear? What'd you hear? He said, I heard footsteps. At that point, he was ready to get out of there.
Yeah. No, I heard them. And they didn't sound far off. So I was like, I'm not saying it was a Sasquatch, or it may have been a squirrel on steroids. Who knows?
Who knows what it was? And that's what I love about these encounters, because it's so dark. But here's what you can differentiate. We know you could tell something's on 4 legs or two.
Yep. And what I heard last night was definitely on 2 legs, 2 feet. And it sounded relatively close. That's why it startled me.
Yeah, and I got a kick out of that. But then again, I got on high alert. I'm like, oh, okay, do we got to go?
Yeah, but anyway, we stood there for a while. That was the pinnacle of the sky activity. It was pretty amazing, actually. What we talked about was we need to find a way to record it, because we always go there and we see a lot of activity in the sky.
We do,
so
always.
we were thinking maybe a
telescope.
Right. His grandson, he goes to astronomy night, or is that
right? Well, he when he was in elementary, he's in mid school now. I would always take him to his class had astronomy at night, and in Albuquerque they have a local astronomers club, and these guys have their telescopes pointed to the sky, and they monitor them on their computer screen. And I thought, bingo, why do we not do that up there? I recently ordered a second laptop, and I said this is the laptop that I call it my kick around. I have the one I process our videos and our YouTube, everything on, and that's my workhorse. But I bought a little 15.6 inch, and I said that needs to go with me everywhere, just in case. And I thought, what better use than to take it out there, hook up a telescope, and we start watching the sky too. Not only are we going to look for 2 things, or we're going to wait for Bigfoot to come find us, and watch the night sky, because up there it's perfect.
Right. And if we had something like that, like we discussed earlier, when something like that happens, grabbing your cell phone's the last thing on your mind.
And you don't have time because it moves so fast.
Everything just a few seconds, it's over.
But I now have the equipment. I have the battery pack that will operate the laptop for several hours. And if we could just get us a decent enough telescope to zoom in onto where we're at, we may be able to catch some good footage.
Now, maybe we could have a wide angle so it could catch the whole night sky where we are at. Or,
oh, definitely.
This is going to be new territory for us. So if you guys have any suggestions what we could use, we'd love to hear them.
Right. Or if you yourself out there do something similar, hey, I'm new to this. Give me some tips and tell me, some pointers. How would I do this? Because I'm not an astronomer.
Right. Tell us how we could best do this with the best video.
That's right. And but I would like to catch some of this footage that we're always telling you guys about, and then you be the judge.
Right. And that's it. If we could catch this footage as clear as possible, I mean, when it happens, it blows my mind.
I'm always amazed at it because every time I see something like that, I'm like, I can't explain it, but there's something going on in the skies over this planet, not just where we go. I hear these same stories everywhere. So my thing is, I'd like to catch some of this video and post it, on our YouTube, and y'all can comment on it.
And see, we know, like he talked about a guy, I guess. We'll call him Dr. Feelgood.
That's right, Dr. Feelgood.
But he made the comment, we're talking to him one time, oh, I watch the night skies all the time and I never see anything. He's the one who told us, well, maybe you're just seeing satellites.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that there's so many astronomers clubs and more of this ain't out there because, I mean, we can't be hallucinating and seeing the same thing.
No.
Well,
No.
we are eating the same mushrooms.
Wow, hey, you're not supposed to tell them that.
They're organic.
They're organic. Well, those are the mushrooms we pick while we're, taking hikes up in the mountain.
Right.
But no, seriously, we were talking about last night if we could capture some of that footage. And I said, well, I got a new laptop. We dragged that bad boy up there and put it to work. We just need to find us a little telescope. I'm going to have to look into see how some of these people in the astronomy clubs, how they hook them up. Now, a lot of those guys are looking at the stars right here in Albuquerque, and there's a lot of light pollution. I'm like, not the best thing, not the best place to do it. Most professional astronomers go out where it's dark, where there's no light pollution, so that they get a good, bright view of the night sky.
Right. But the ones who even do it here in Albuquerque, I don't know how they cannot see what we see. Now, we're what, a maximum 2 hours away?
Yeah.
When we go up there?
Maximum 2 hours where we go, into the wilderness. But these guys, I'm willing to bet that these guys have seen some of the stuff when they're looking at the night sky. They just don't. A lot of people won't report it or criticize it, and some of these people probably even delete it. They're like, "That's not what I'm looking for,"
Or they don't. They count it as something else.
Right.
Oh, that's the military. It's a plane.
Yeah.
It's got to be a satellite.
Or it's space junk bouncing around.
Right.
Things don't bounce around in space.
Not like we've seen them.
Not with that type of velocity.
And to just from a dead stop to accelerate to a dead stop, change directions.
And accelerate.
Or we've even seen them zigzag.
So, yes, we have. We've seen it all. And it's interesting. We talk a lot about Sasquatch, but it's like we have many more encounters in the sky than we do on the ground.
Now, the big man is in our heart. That's our main focus.
Right. And you shared that native saying about Sasquatch.
How they're saying, I shared it. It's from a different group. I shared it on our Cryptid Crossroads 505 Facebook page. It was just interesting. Supposedly someone who can communicate with them. They had a message for us about hunting them and our path of destruction. Are you trying to pull it up?
I'm trying to pull it up. Yeah. Let me go to the groups. All right. So, no, that's not us.
Oh, we don't have those kind of girls on our group. What the heck?
Hey.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Okay. So let me read this to you. So it says, "Do not try to hunt us. You will not find us. We can shift into hundreds of different forms. We can be right under your nose and you wouldn't know it. We can move with the wind and have the strength of 10 bears. We can swim faster than your boats, and we blend into the forest like a shadow. We were living here before your race was brought here, and we will be here long after you die out, because that is the path you are heading. We have dealt with dinosaurs and been through wars with beings you are not aware of, so please do not hunt us. You are wasting your time. We are a peaceful race that seeks to bring back the old ways. The times when your race and ours lived in harmony with each other as brother and sister. Please send our message to others. Seek violence no more. Instead, seek to be in harmony with everything around you, because all is one. This is the only way. We wait for you to make this change and love you, the Sasquatch people.
Now, if it's legitimate, who knows? I can't call anyone a liar. I wasn't there. I don't know what's being sent to their mind, but a lot of people I know, well, not a whole lot of people, but some people talk about being in tune with the forest,
Right.
with the earth, and it goes back to vibrations.
Right.
And I've talked about this girl before, and she claims she's seen them. She's seen them go through portals. She was raised on the Jemez Pueblo.
Right, and we did discuss that a little bit. How I call it devolution, how we've devolved. I want to say our ancestors who lived off the land, they were so much more in tune with the environment and the land than we are. Our feet touch concrete and pavement, not dirt anymore. We really don't feel the vibrations
Our
of the
feet
earth.
don't touch nothing but our shoes.
That's right.
really.
We got rubber soles, and but still, even when we go out there, we're still not in touch with nature like our ancestors used to be. They didn't have TVs. They stared at the night sky. That's why they tell stories about the sky visitors and the ones that taught them the knowledge. And you hear all these crazy stories, and it's like, well, are they true? But I tend to believe them because as we came through technology and as we advance with technology, our focus is no longer on the earth. It's about what's in front of us, our screens,
Right,
and how we could manipulate what's on that screen.
right, and it's all about the almighty dollar, which really is nothing.
Nothing.
It's interesting how we're talking about the races and stuff, how it said on there, they were here since before our race was placed here. That was an interesting...
That it is, and that takes us back to the Anunnaki.
There you go. One of our favorite subjects.
Zachariah Stitchin, his book, The 12th Planet, read it. You could say it's bullshit or not, but modern day science agrees with him. There is a 12th planet out there.
Right. But any of this information you want to look up or research, just take it with an open mind,
Right.
Because everything they taught us in school is not right, It's
No.
not true. And basically they taught us memorization.
That's what it is.
And now you see with even in today's society how they're trying to change or alter our history.
Right.
So who knows what they did before? And that's why we don't know the honest to God truth, what happened before us.
That's right.
Some people say the Holocaust never happened.
Many people say that, and but you yourself, be a critical thinker. Just don't follow the path of all the sheep out there.
Right, just open mind, and don't discount anyone because maybe somebody would think they're a crackpot. Hey, maybe he's a genius.
Maybe, you never know.
But anyway, onward with our Jemez story.
That's right.
Now we're talking about being in I guess in touch with nature, with the planet. Now I have several hippie friends, and they talk about going up to the Jemez, and one of the things they do is they get barefoot.
Right.
Because you talked about our shoes and
That's
the
right.
concrete.
And I think maybe we should become hippies and get barefoot so that we feel the vibration of the earth. And science has proved that our bodies vibrate at a certain frequency, and the earth vibrates at a certain frequency. So when you're barefoot, you are in contact and you're back with the earth. Now, I'm not saying we're going to get hippies, and we might. Who knows? Maybe. I better not say that here, but
Well, anyway, getting back on the subject,
That's right.
It's all about being in tune with nature and the earth. And we were talking last night because we had an experience we're going to tell you about in a second.
That's right.
That maybe we go up there so much, we don't have ill intentions. We just want to learn.
Right.
We want to know the truth. What's really going on up in the skies as well as on Earth. We want to know about the species Bigfoot, if it's I know it's real. I know, I know it is.
It
but
is.
there's so much we don't know. And these so-called experts, I mean, come on, what do they really know?
They don't, because they try and be an expert from the keyboard at home.
Right. And that girl that I referred to several times, she refers to herself as being woke, which means she's in tune with nature. And she sees the ley lines on the earth, and she sees the guardians. She's the one who said she's seen a Sasquatch go into a portal, and she's seen them many times. And she said, once you have pure intentions, then you'll see them. And we're talking about, well, maybe we've been up there so long, maybe things are changing in our favor.
Right.
Now, I talked about at the beginning of the podcast a camping spot I thought was perfect. I found it one time by myself several weeks ago, maybe a month ago or more.
Right.
We've been up there several times, up and down that road, up and down that road. We could not find it. So last night when we left our squatching spot, we went down and it was still relatively early. Well, for us, we're used to leaving like 2, 3 in the morning. It was still relatively early for us. So we wanted to go down that road one more time just to see what was going on. Actually, the reason we wanted to go was on the way up, we saw a nice bush of blackberries.
Berries. Right. I told my brother, oh, did you see that? There, all those blackberries just hanging there. I'm like, oh man, there's food galore for
Right.
all creatures
our
to live
intentions
off.
were to take a few of them, you know.
Right.
They just look great.
We were gonna eat them.
Yeah. But anyway, on the way down, I said, well, we'll try one last time to find this spot. And we were having zero luck. I couldn't find it. And out of nowhere, it was just crazy. We were going, and a owl flew out of the tree, a big owl.
Yeah, not
How
no
big
small.
was that owl?
His wingspan was, I shit you not, about 7 feet.
It was big. I don't know exactly how big. It was big. We saw it swoop down toward the ground and come up. And the path he took, I watched his path, and that was the entrance to the spot I've been looking for weeks.
That's right. And on that note, we say it's our owl because where we hang out, there's this owl, a big owl that always, he'll fly. This last time we were there, he flew into the tree and he stood there and looked at us, and then he flew away.
He came in, take a look at us, and he split.
Right. And when we're up there, he'll hoot. We hear him hooting.
We always hear him in the distance.
Yeah. So we said, wow, maybe that was our owl, and he was giving us direction, saying, "You idiots are lost. Let me show you."
Well, maybe they sensed I was looking for something, and he showed us the way, and that kind of blew my mind. You know, you could take it either way.
Right.
I don't believe in coincidences. I believe things happen for a reason, but he showed us the spot we've been looking for over a month.
And you're right. It was crazy. We laughed about it, and we thought, we were both like, how effing crazy was that? Because we have been driving up and down that road, and my brother's like, that's not it. That's not it. Not only once, many times.
Many times.
And then about darkness hour, this creature in the headlights just swoops down, big wingspan. So he's not a small owl. He'd probably take one of a chihuahua or something with no problem, and just swoops right by the road, that just like Mr. Herbert. And he just swoops down
And we
shows
watched
us the
his
way.
path, and his path was directly toward that turnoff, huh?
And yep, we went right on that turnoff, and my brother said, yep, this is it. And he just disappeared.
Wow, and that kind of blew our minds because, you know, hopefully we're getting more in tune with, you know, we always joke about the motherland, but that truly is our motherland. We have Amos blood.
That's we have lineage that comes from that tribe that's in
Right.
those mountains.
And our mom always tells us, that's why you always go up there. It calls to you.
It does.
My mom's, she's a devout Catholic, but she believes in some stuff. And with me, she says, now I understand two of your strong callings.
Right.
She goes, I understand why the Hamas calls to you, because I'll go up there alone. I'll go without him.
Right.
I'll be up there in the middle of the night. It scares the dickens out of me, but I just love being there, and I want to know. And also, My mom told me the one and only time she took a ride on a Harley Davidson was with my dad when she was 6 months pregnant with me.
Right.
So she said that explains why you're nuts about bikes too.
Then I won't say what my calling is.
Well, who knows what she was doing just pregnant with you. But, you know, that's why I think everything happens for a reason.
Right.
But when we talked about this last night and we talked about it again today, I didn't even really know how to start about the owl thing because
Right.
I don't want you to think we're crackpots because that really did happen.
Right.
And I told him maybe we should leave that part out. But
I'm the one that said no, that has to go in there because this actually happened. I mean, it's no different than if we saw a Sasquatch. You're either going to believe us or you're not.
Right.
And that's your choice. But we know what we saw.
And that's why we need to invest in dash cams.
I know.
Or telescope. They're
Yeah.
we see so much up there. You would not believe that we don't catch.
Yeah, no, and that's our second home. That's our home away from home. We love being up there that much.
We go up there until they lock us out.
Right. And they do lock us out, bastards. But someday,
Someday we will own a part of that mountain.
that's what we're hoping. And that would be a glorious day for me.
Now, we've always talked about our great-grandfather. He was a
He was a sheep herder.
sheep herder. He was from the Jemez Pueblo, and he would go up there for a month at a time. So we always thought, man, what did he see up there?
Right. And that takes balls because it gets frightening up there, people.
It is.
I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
grown man in the middle of the wilderness.
I don't think you've made your maiden journey yet by yourself. Right?
No, I haven't.
I've been up there by myself, and there's been times when somebody left me on the mountain alone, and
You'll know when I made my you'll know when I made my maiden journey. My wife will say, "He came home without his underwear."
it'll be up in a tree soiled.
That's right, soiled. Or
But anyway, that's what we wanted to share with you.
that's right.
We'll swear in the Bible what happened. I don't know. I can't explain it. It just,
No, they either believe us or they don't.
I just-
But nonetheless, thanks for listening to the
right?
content.
The only thing I could say is we were guided last night.
It was cool. It was cool. I don't know how to explain it, but it was so cool. It was like an aha moment for both of us. We were just like, what the hell? That was so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
But anyway, that's what we wanted to share with you, like my brother said, and we hope you enjoyed it. And like we always say, if you have something that's happened to you like that, don't be afraid to share it. The world wants to hear it.
Right.
So-
Give us your feedback about our stories.
So do we. We want to hear it. Anyway, thanks for listening. All right. Peace out.
Peace.
Hey, thanks for watching.
We hope all you YouTubers enjoyed the show.
That's right. And don't forget to reach out to us at cryptidcrossroads505@gmail.com.
Peace.
Peace.